Yo, 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 welcome back to Brandon Smooth TV. Back at you with another review. We got Obi-Wan Kenobi Episode 5. There's a lot of people that was very critical of this show, and for me, this is the best Disney Plus show that came out of all Disney Plus shows. Yes, I think it's a little bit better than Loki. Yes, I think it's better than WandaVision. Yes, I think it's better than Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Now, I might be a little biased because I'm a super Star Wars fan, but nevertheless, it's a good show. Ian McGregor is a great actor. I like Hayden Christensen that came back to play Vader. The young girl that played Leia is good. The dude that played Uncle Owen's all right. Reva. Reva, it is sometimes, it seems like she's overacting, but I think she's a good actress. She does the best she can with the dialogue she gets. And now, since we have a little backstory on her, it makes sense why she was acting the way she was acting. Also, Jimmy Schmitz, my boy Jimmy Schmitz, he was killing it as Leia's dad, Bail Organa. So, of course, we pick up with Obi-Wan Kenobi. We know where he's headed. Vader's hot on his heels. And I'm not going to recap the whole episode because I watched it twice. But it was a lot going on in this episode. First and foremost, let me talk about the flashbacks and how important and for me how emotional those scenes were. Seeing Hayden Christensen play the younger version of Anakin took me back to the prequels. And seeing his banter between him and Obi-Wan took me right back to like Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith. I enjoyed those scenes. And I don't know what type of duel they were having. I think that was probably, if I'm correct, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but this is probably the latter part of his training as far as when he was a Padawan, trying to get, I don't know if the word's promoted or graduated or ascend to being a Jedi Knight. For Star Wars people, we know this. For those who don't know, it's 3 levels. You start off as a Padawan. Actually, you start off as a youngling, like a kid. Then you start off as a Padawan learner, like a beginner. You go to a Jedi Knight, which is more like intermediate. And then, of course, a Jedi Master. You the Master. So, during this fight, you see, we know Anakin is the chosen one. And he's always been the aggressor. And he's always just went forward with raw power and brute force. So he's colder than Obi-Wan with the lightsaber. Kinda and kinda not. There's 7 different lightsaber forms. And now I'm getting real geeky for the people that don't know. But I made a song. I haven't recorded it yet. I wrote a song about Obi-Wan's lightsaber style. It's called Surisu. Surisu is a defensive style. As far as with blasters, it's about a lot of deflection. And it's about being patient, letting your opponent get his moves off, countering, and then finding that one little mistake, one little area, one little problem, one little slip, and capitalizing on that. Obi-Wan is a master of Surisu. Now, I would say in episode 1 when he... Now I'm getting off topic, but that's okay. In episode 1 when he fought Darth Maul, right? He was a lot more aggressive, but then when he went into Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, episodes 2 and 3, his Surisu really came out, like for real, for real. When he fought General Grievous, that's nothing but Surisu. He waited. He picked off one of his arms at a time. You know, he ended up overpowering him at the end. He lost his lightsaber and he had to use a blaster, but that's Surisu. Be patient. He beat Anakin the same way. He didn't beat Anakin on Mustafar with brute force. He was countering a lot of Anakin's attacks. He ended up getting the higher ground, mapping his plan out, and that's how he ended up taking him out. So Cerise is a very powerful story. Anyways, let's get back. The flashback scene is important because they show the flashback scene throughout the entire episode, and to me, it gave so much more validity to that line in A New Hope when they met. And Vader, I'm going to sum it up, he basically said, the last time I left you, I was the student, but now I am the master. Because, as I go through this episode, you'll see why. So they start off with the flashback, and then Vader's hot on their tail. Now, Reva kept her end of the bargain. They know what planet he's on. I forgot that weird planet's name. And he appoints Reva to be the Grand Inquisitor. Gives her the badge and everything. And then he basically says, look, go down there, get everything open. We about to attack and go get Kenobi. And then she tried to bring up something else. She was like, Kenobi, and Vader himself said, Kenobi is all that matters for real. I don't give a fuck about nothing else but finding him. That's it. So, of course, Reva goes down the planet, and then we got all of these Force-sensitive children and people who are trying to escape. Obi-Wan knows what Vader's going to do before he do it. Vader knows Obi-Wan, and Obi-Wan knows Vader. But I think Obi-Wan knows Anakin more, and he counted on what Anakin would do in this situation. So basically, they get a little small plan to get out. But what happened was they used Leia's droid and tracked them. Open these big doors you see in this picture. You see the ship leaving. So those doors, they closed those doors in using Leia's droid and basically locked them all in. So you just sit in ducks until the Empire come and get you. Fast forward. Obi-Wan figures out what Vader's doing, gives his lightsaber to O'Shea, Ice Cube son, O'Shea Jackson, and tells him it's more than one way to fight, while still showing these flashback scenes of Anakin literally dominating Obi-Wan with the lightsaber, beating him down with the lightsaber all the way to where he disarmed him. But when he gave O'Shea his lightsaber, he said it's more than one way to fight. So he goes out there, surrenders himself, gives himself to Reva, but he ends up figuring out who Reva is through the Force. I know he had to use the Force to deduct this. And he talked to Reva through the blast doors, and he said, "You're not serving Lord Vader, you're hunting him." And then we finally get her backstory, which a lot of us theorized already, that she was the youngling and they started to show off with, and the youngling that we seen. Now, we know Reva's a double agent. She's acting with all this rage. Not saying she ain't doing no bad shit. She's still killing people, chopping hands off. But her goal is to kill Anakin, who goddamn killed all the people she loved in her family. And she said she tried to protect them and have them get away, but she was a kid, wasn't nothing she could do. Now, we get to see Anakin slaughter. We don't get to see it, but we get to see him slaughter her friends right in front of him. And it looks like from the last scene, and we'll talk about the duel later, that he stabbed her as a little girl, but she survived, just like she did this time. Anyways, it get deep. So, Obi-Wan's girlfriend and the robot end up getting killed. They sacrificed themselves so Obi-Wan can get away. And it was so sad because it harkened back on the original series so much, y'all. Like, Obi-Wan sacrificed himself so Luke and Han Solo and Chewie and them could get out of there in A New Hope. This is the same thing that happened with her character. And it was sad, too, because I did like her character for the 2 or 3 episodes she was in there. Some of that shit she was doing with the Stormtrooper, she pimp slapped the Stormtrooper and they fell. I was like, wait, this shit. Y'all armor is whack if you can get pimp slapped and you fall. Anyways, she ended up dying, and you do see the emotional toll that took on Obi-Wan. So, let me step back for a little bit. When he discussed it with Reva, he basically said, look, we can help each other. We can both take out Vader. I can help you. But then Reva really kept it a buck, and Obi-Wan couldn't even answer. She was like, but do you really want to kill Anakin? That's still his brother, y'all. And I don't care how dark Darth Vader is. There's an inkling, it's a little bit that still love Obi-Wan. Because if he hated his guts so much, he could have snapped that motherfucker's neck in episode 3. He could have just left him in the fire and burned him up. Shit, he could have sent a lightsaber through his goddamn ass if he wanted to. So, Vader is basking in the dark side, but you got to understand, Obi-Wan is one of his biggest things left of Anakin that's left on the planet. Y'all have to understand, he doesn't know he has children. He don't feel him in the Force because he thinks Padme is dead. But if he kill Obi-Wan, to me, his mission is to kill Obi-Wan, to kill one of the last pieces of Anakin Skywalker so he can completely become immersed in the dark side. That's how I look at it. Comment down low if you disagree, but that's how I'm looking at that. So, Reva basically says, fuck you, Obi-Wan, shit. And where was you? Where was you? Where was niggas at when Palpatine did Order 66? Where was you at? You was gone eating pixie sticks. Where was you? Where you niggas at when the clone trooper shot us? Where niggas at when Anakin got us? Like, where was you? Like, I understand that too, and I understand her rage too. So, this had to be a badass scene. Vader basically pulls up and he's like, look, I'm gonna bring in Kenobi my motherfucking self. Pulls up on Reva. They got the blast doors open and shit that they was talking through. He's like, "Where's Kenobi? Where is Kenobi?" And she like, "Shit, he in there." You know what I'm saying? So he goes in there, and he's using the force to open the doors. He's trying to find him. He's walking with fury. Like, Vader is mobbing in this. This ain't old mechanical. Vader is mobbing in this. So he gets to this scene right here, right? And what y'all looking at is a ship taking off. This mother... Not that it ain't been done before. I played the Starkiller games, Jedi. I played those games, right? That has not been done before. But when Vader do it, the chosen one, the ship try to take off. This motherfucker pulls the ship. Look, y'all. He pulled the ship out of the sky and made it crash. Engines and everything. And then he rips a big ass hole. He's like knocking goddamn metal and wires and like opens up the hull of the ship. And then he walks towards it and ain't nobody in there. Now, before I keep going, let's go back to the flashback scene. Remember earlier I said Anakin had disarmed Obi-Wan. Looked like he was going to win. He said, "Submit, master. I'm about to become a Jedi Knight if I'm able to beat you in lightsaber." Which he did end up beating him because obviously he became a Jedi Knight. We know that. But Obi-Wan flipped it on him. So he disarmed him. Obi-Wan did some little judo type move. I don't know what it was. Used the force and took his lightsaber. And he had to explain to Anakin, as long as you use your sheer power and aggression to dominate your forces, because he was explaining to him, we lightsaber and fighting to live, we're not trying to do death blows. We don't give a fuck about that. Anakin did. But he said, as long as you this way and you that headstrong and you don't think and always try to use your brute force and your power, even though you are the chosen one, you will not be able to become a Jedi Knight because you won't be able to defeat me. The flashback scene mirrored this perfectly, because what happened after Vader in this picture crashed the ship, opened up the doors and wasn't nobody in there, it was a decoy. And the other ship took off and it was too late because he was distracted with that one and it was gone. So he lost Kenobi again. And Vader's face, even though it's a fucking blank mask, you can almost see through his blank mask in his eyes. He was pissed. And at that moment, he understood, which goes back to the line for me in New Hope, that Obi-Wan, even though I'm the most powerful, got all this power and can do all this shit, is still the master. And I still haven't learned my lesson. Now, if they tie that into the New Hope line, and the next time he roll up on me, he said, now I'm the master, but before I was the learner, that would make sense. Anyways, as this is happening, Reva plots her revenge. She comes up on him with the lightsaber, tries to stab him. Oh my God. Y'all can hate on this fight if y'all want to in the comments, let me know. I thought this was dope. Vader was fighting her without a lightsaber. He's doing like space, taekwondo, tai chi. I don't know what it is, but he's fighting her and he's not even using a lightsaber. She swung and he stopped the force of her lightsaber with his arm. And he's blocking shots with the force. He's doing little push moves and shit. Hit her with a little tai chi. And then Vader's a real G because she pulled out her Inquisitor sword with the double thing and was spinning around. This motherfucker used the force to stop that shit. Broke the lightsabers in half. Threw her one on the ground like a real one. It was like, you know what? I'm going to let you shoot the fair one. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's why I watch Star Wars. So they're fighting. Boom, boom, boom. Vader still, he's just dodging shit. It looked like he was dancing. He was cha-chaing on her. Vader hit a three-pointer on Reva like Steph Curry did when he won the finals and did a shimmy. He shimmied on her, y'all. He was shimmying away from like lightsaber strikes. Then he ends up stabbing her. And as he's stabbing her, to go back to the scene when they were in the Jedi Temple, he stabbed her, and it looked like it was simultaneous. Because he was like stabbing her as a kid, and it was Anakin with the dark cloak, who was actually Vader, technically. And then Vader stabbing her now. But he didn't stab her in the chest. He didn't stab her in the heart. It looked like he stabbed her like somewhere in the shoulder area. Like he missed vital organs on purpose. As I said in the last couple episodes, Vader sees a lot of himself in Reva. And she explained to Obi that she had to hide under the her dead homies' bodies until they turned cold, and she played dead until everybody left, and that's how she lived. Reva's strong. I don't give a fuck. Reva's strong, and she's been through a lot of shit. And I'm glad we have some clarity to know why she's acting a fool. Y'all gotta understand this. Reva acting bratty and not caring about authority and all that shit. Reva, whoever she was prior, died in the Jedi Temple where her family died, just like Anakin Skywalker died on Mustafar and Darth Vader arose. It's identical, damn near. We ain't seen the backstory, but it's very similar. Not identical, but very similar. She died then. She said, fuck everybody. I don't need nobody else. Obi didn't help me. Yoda didn't help me. Where was Mace Windu? Where was Master Shakti? Where was Plo Koon? Where was these motherfuckers at? Nobody helped us, and this was not supposed to happen. So I'm eager to see, because it looks like she did live, and she has knowledge of the kids. Now she knows Vader has kids. Episode 6 is going to be amazing. Of course, it ended off with Luke, and we're going to be back on Tatooine. This episode, to me, was better than episode 3. And y'all know how much I enjoyed episode 3. So, I'm excited for episode 6. And are y'all excited to see? Let me know in the comments. Like, I'm excited to see Vader doing Vader shit. Yeah, we love the original trilogy. I love how he's talking shit. But seeing him move with a little more fluidity and being a little younger and mobbing and doing other stuff, this is why we have Disney Plus. And this is the stories that true Star Wars fans want to tell, not them bullshit sequels. Also, I'm going to say this now. I don't know if it's true. I ain't heard nobody else say this because I don't do my reviews and never watch nobody. I don't bite other people's shit. My shit is real, raw, and authentic. Just like Arsenal, the battle rapper, say. So, I think they're trying to use the Obi-Wan series to make the sequel trilogy make sense. Now, if you're making this series for that purpose, fuck you, Disney. But if you're just doing it and it happens to tie in and it matches up, we'll see. It's not going to make the sequel ones better, but it might make them a little better when you watch them all together. So again, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm going to say it again like the last video. We didn't make the 60 in time. I still got the packy chips. 80 goddamn subscribers, I'm going to eat it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll be back with you with another review. Peace.